Yo, what's the dealio, man? Listen, you already know I got a straight banger for you today, all right? So listen, in this video, what we're gonna be talking about is how to master the cash flow trade, all right? Now, I have a lesson for you guys today. I'm gonna take you through a trade I took today, but also I'm gonna help you guys understand the mindset for the type of day that it was today, right? Now, in my opinion, the best times to trade is like that first 90 minutes and then also the last like 90 minutes as well, right? In between, it just be a lot of like consolidation. So if you can't get nothing solid within that first like 90 minutes, then sometimes you kind of got to wait it out, right? So none of this in this video is financial advice. So be sure to go see a financial advisor if that's what you want to do, right? This is not financial advice. Also, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel, all right? So with that being said, first things first, y'all, cash flow trade. I did a video saying treat business, trading like a business. And in that video, what I talked about is cash flow. Every trade does not have to be a banger, right? Every trade does not have to be 200%, 800%, whatever, right? The turtle wins the race. You see what I'm saying? So, because what happens is, if you always looking for that banger and you don't let it come to you, what happens is you're going to have a banger of a loss, right? And that banger of a loss, what's going to end up happening is it's going to put you down. And then when you do get a banger, you're just going to be making up for the banger of your loss. You see what I'm saying? But when you focus on having cash flow trades as well and managing your trades, what ends up happening is you, when you do have a banger of a trade, you're not making up for a loss, right? You're actually adding on to the consistency that you've already had, right? So let's say it's been 3 days and you just been cash flow trades. Cash flow trades is like 10, 20%, right? 10, 25%, something like that. That's cash flow, okay? Now, and 20% could be a really nice trade depending on how much you put in the trade, right? But let's just say 10 to 20% is like a cash flow trade, all right? 5%, that's like a break-even trade for real, right? So still green, but you get what I'm saying. So then let's say you do that for 3 days straight. And let's say you was putting in, let's be modest. Let's say you was putting in, for number's sake, 2,000 in a trade, right? So you put 2K in a trade and then you go make 15%, right? What is that? That's $300, right? Okay, so it's not the most amount of money in the world, but then what ends up happening is you do that for 3 days. You up almost 1,000 on the week, right? And then let's say on a Thursday, right, you go put 1,500 in a trade, and then you go make 200%, right? What's that? That's 3K. You see what I'm saying? But no, that's actually 4K, right? Because 100% is no, I said 1,500, so that is 3K. So then now you up 4K on a week. You see what I'm saying? But then let's say on the flip side, you was forcing trades in the beginning of the week, and now you was down $1,500, right? And then you get a banger of a trade, and you put $1,500 in that trade, and you make 200%. Now you're only up $1,500 on the week instead of that 4K, right? So let your cash flow trades carry you. Let that be the foundation. Let that be your baseline, right? And then when you have those big days, it just adds on to everything instead of you having to make up for all of your losses, right? This goes back to getting in the flow of just winning and being consistent. So with that being said, I'm going to take you guys through applied, right? I got into a applied put, and then we banked. It was like 13% for me, right? So we're gonna go to the charts, and I'm gonna break this thing down for you guys. All right. So this is applied right here, right? Now, here's what I'm going to say. First things first, look at them on the 30-minute time frame, right? They've been going absolutely ballistic, right? They've been going absolutely crazy, right? If you look at them, they've just been running, okay? Running, 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 running. Now, I caught them for the watch list, but they gapped up, right? So they gapped up from, let me draw the line real quick. They gapped up from here on Friday, right? All the way up to right here. Okay, so this is where they gapped up to. So this is a gap that they had to fill. So they opened up and then they came down. So first lesson is, when the whole market gaps up, I would not assume that it's going to just continue to go higher, right? What is the market always trying to do? It's always trying to balance out. So everybody that got into calls right when the market opened, they got cooked, right? Then they got scared, then they panicked out, then they sold out. And that's how the money extracts market from the retail investors and traders, right? So now, this is on the 30-minute. I got in off the 15-minute time frame, right? So let's go to the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so opens up, then it comes down. What does it do? It fills this gap right here, right? So it comes down to fill most of the gap, okay? I see a liquidity grab. I'm like, okay, let me be patient real quick. We had a couple fair value gaps that it could have got liquidity from and rejected, but it didn't. So it kept pushing up. But then, right, we had this area right here, okay, that we just got liquidity from. And so if you go to the 10-minute time frame, right, it was coming up, it was coming up. Now I want you guys to pay attention to this 15-minute candle right here, okay? So this right here is the top of the first 15-minute candle right there, right? So this is the first 15-minute candle right there, all right? And then this is the bottom of the 15-minute candle, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put top of 15-minute candle, all right? And then we're gonna put bottom of 15-minute candle, okay? Now, what is the top and the bottom of a 15-minute candle? This creates a range, right? This is where you get the 15-minute orb from. So if we break above the 15-minute candle, then you usually take calls, right? If we break below the 15-minute candle, we usually take puts. So because applied was in this range right here, inside of the 15-minute range right here, I knew not to take calls to the upside because you could get cooked, right? So on the 10-minute time frame, yes, it looks like they're going to keep going up. This is how you get faked out, right? So I saw this on the 10-minute and I said, we haven't closed above the 15-minute range on the 15-minute time frame. So let me wait it first, okay? Because this could just be a wick. So then on the 15-minute time frame, I saw it come back below this right here. I still did not take entry because the 15-minute candle did not close yet, and we are inside of a range, right? When you're inside of a range, it could reverse in any different direction at any time. So you have to be very, very careful if you're gonna take entries inside of a range, right? But because we rejected off of the top of this 15-minute candle, I was looking for them to come to the downside, down to the bottom of this area right here, okay? I was really looking for them to come down right here, right? This is on the 15-minute. So what ended up happening was I saw them on the 15-minute. They was on a failed two down right here. They looked like they was going up. I still wasn't sold, right? Because we also had all of these wicks right here, okay? We had a wick here, had a wick here. Yeah, so it was these wicks, this wick, and then this wick, right? And then this wick. So after I saw it close on this failed two up right here, right? I'm zooming in. After I saw them close on this failed two up right here, right? I knew that they rejected off of the top of the orb, and I'll say, okay, now we're most likely gonna come down to the bottom of the 15-minute candle right here, and so we'll be good. So this candle opened up, and then it popped back up still, right? Because we had a fair value gap right here where buyers were still active. Now it was on and then what ended up happening was it finally broke below here, right? But I still did not enter because of where it was at on the chart. But because it broke below it and then it popped back up, now I knew that sellers were active. I knew that sellers were about to start pushing the stock to the downside, right? So then it popped back up here. All I did was wait. I just waited. I waited, right? This is a 15 minutes. This is 30 minutes. This is 45 minutes. And then this is an hour. So almost an hour into the market is when I took entry into this trade. So I let it pop back up first. And then when it came back down again under here, I took entry on this trade. And then what happened? It came right down here and then I got out, right? This candle opened as well. It came down a little bit more, about right here. And then I actually had got out like right around here. Okay. I was targeting this area right here, but because we were inside of a range, I knew what it could do and it could reject or bounce pretty fast. And then I would let another green trade go red, right? So I took profits like right here. I got 12%, called it a day, right? But you have to understand that when you're inside of the pre-markets range and the 15-minute range as well, you got to be either very careful or just don't take any trades, right? So this was a 15-minute orb rejection, right? Then it came down. I let it break. I waited for the momentum. It came back up, tested again, didn't reject it, came down. Right when it came back down below here, took entry, and then we made some money right there. Okay, and it was simple as that. Now this took a lot of patience, literally an hour of just sitting there watching the charts and waiting. But when we entered, it was executed to perfection, right? But the fact of the matter is, I want you guys to understand that you have to understand ranges. And when stocks gap up and they gap down big, does not mean that they're going to just keep going in the direction of the gap up or the gap down. And this is what I mean by a cash flow trade, right? I wasn't greedy. I didn't go too crazy in my position size or anything like that, right? It's Monday as well, and it's a holiday week. Y'all see what I'm saying? Holiday week, and it's a Monday. I'm chilling. This whole week, I'm actually chilling and I'm going pretty light simply because it could get tricky. We could get fake outs and stuff like that, right? So I just wanted to talk about how to master the cash flow trade, okay? Every trade does not have to be a banger. Every trade does not have to be $1 million. But what every trade does have to be is executed to the best that you can execute it, right? And you have to ensure that you know what you're doing, you're being patient, and you're being disciplined as well. All right? So listen, if you guys want to join, come trade with us this week, next week, 2026, then be sure to click the link in the description, come join the Discord, and let's get it. All right? So I hope this video helped. I hope that this video, gave you guys some insight and it gave you guys some perspective on how to trade the strat, how to trade, right? How to be patient, how to be disciplined, all right? And if y'all made some money in the stock market today off anything, be sure to let me know in the comments below as well, all right? So you guys have a great day. We're going to do this all over again tomorrow, and we're going to be live tonight, all right? So all of y'all, like I always say, make sure you get up out your head. Go get into this world because your head is a dangerous place to live, all right? And also remember, y'all, the more you study, the less you worry, all right? Y'all have a great day. All y'all stay smooth, and I'm going to holler at you later on. Peace.